It was a cold, chilly, and early October morning. The wind was blowing, and the trees were wallowing back and forth like blades of grass. Autumn was knocking on the door, and leaves were blanketing every inch of land I could see. I walked on and looked at the leaves. I was called upon by the referee, and my coach patted me on my back and said, "Tim, you can do it. Go get us that provincial medal this time." I walked briskly, holding my head up high as I stepped on the track. I stood beside my opponent and saw my goal a mere 200 meters away. The wind today gave a very strong push to me, much more than the last time I was here. But something inside of me was also giving me a much stronger push than the last time I was here as well.
The push started about 2 years ago at the beginning of the biggest part of my life, when I was a freshman in high school. It was my first day at high school, and like every other kid in high school, I honestly did not know what to expect. I was an average student, nothing too stellar to show off about, but nothing too bad to be grounded for. As time passed by, I was interested in the usual subjects: math, science, and English, but I was mostly interested in sports. I would walk past the trophy cases every day to get from chemistry class to English class, and would think how amazing it must be feeling to be a part of a team. The feeling of excitement, hard work, and reward that sports would bring me was taking over my thought process. I just couldn't live without being a part of a sports team.
Time went by as it usually did. However, one Thursday afternoon, I was packing up for the end of the day when a special announcement came. All students interested in joining the track and field team, please come to the tryouts tomorrow at the field with Mr. Lansing. I was thrilled, but I did not have the slightest idea of how I would prepare for the tryout in one day. However, I didn't freak out. I kept my head leveled until the next day.
Summer was slowly fading away, and like the sun setting, it brought upon a cooler chill, one definitely not meant for wearing shorts and running. As I walked to the field, I saw many people stretching for the practice run. I signed in with Mr. Lansing, who at the time, I had no idea who he was. He lined up all the students in a row and looked at each and every one of them. When I was a lot younger, I was bullied by a few people who were much older than me. I went to camp to learn boxing at 12 years old, and my coach was 24. I felt like if I could fight him, I could stand up to anyone. Said Mr. Lansing, "That doesn't mean we have to punch each other in the face, but that does mean we have to try our hardest." At this point, I knew Mr. Lansing was a serious coach.
All the students were first placed through a 100-meter dash. I was a runner in middle school as well, so these 100 meters seemed like a joke to me. There was head-to-head competition at the 100-meter dash, but I managed to get into the top 4 fastest runners. After that, I had to compete against Jake, a grade 12 senior runner. Jake was a tall person, with longer legs and strides than me, but me being the shorter one, I had less weight to carry around. The odds were even, in a way. Both of us sprinted to reach the end of the 100 meters line. We finished, panting for breath, when Mr. Lansing came to us and said, "You're both in for the team. See you on Wednesday for practice." Jake left, looking at me with an annoyed look and shrewdly saying, "I'll see you on the field Wednesday."
The following Wednesday is how everything really started. During practice after school, we had all been told to run the 100-meter dash. As the coach gave us his word, I raced off onto the track. Everyone else was behind me, except for one person, Jake. We kept running, and he turned to look at me. "Punk," he said as he pushed my shoulder, causing me to fly off the track and into a huge pile of mud. At exactly that moment, I knew he was out to get me, just because I was 3 years younger than him, and just as good. I could hear the laughter of my teammates, and I heard my coach yelling at me if I was okay. No, of course I'm not okay. I just got pushed into a pile of mud by an asshole who just so happens to be the best member of the track and field team. Practice has just finished, and all the boys were in the change room getting ready to go home. I started untying my shoes and wiping the mud off my body when Jake walked over to me. He looked at me, pushed my stuff off the bench, and sat next to me. "Hey, Tyrone," he said, looking straight into my soul. Hey, Jake, what's up?" "Oh, trying to get you off the team." I stared at him in shock. At the time, I thought he was joking. So me, being the idiot that I am, started laughing. "Yeah, okay." "You think this is funny, you little twerp? You'll be off the team within weeks," he said, kicking my already thrown stuff across the room. He leaves the change room right after. This little incident was the beginning of Jake making my
created using Powtoon.